One morning, the enemy was going to launch an attack on us. We had stopped for the night in some large ferns that were about 4 or 5 feet tall. And we did our usual thing of being on guard in the morning and all that. And then we were just packing things away when one of the guys from our group, who had been a Navy guy that transferred in, and he even brought his little white Navy hat with him. So in the evening, he would take off his helmet and put on his little Navy hat. And he was from New Jersey. And he had these sayings that were just crazy. He would say, "That's jam up and jelly tight." I had no idea what that meant. But anyway, that morning, he decided to go out and take a shit. So he told the people, "I'm going out forward to take a shit." So he did. He walked out there, and he walked right into an enemy unit that was sneaking up on us through the ferns. They were crawling up on us. And because he went out there, they had to launch their attack early. They would have gotten within 20 or 30 feet of us before they attacked us, and they would have killed every one of us. But because he walked out there, they had to start their attack early. That gave us time to grab our weapons and start shooting back, and there was a huge fight. There were hundreds of them, and there were only 23 of us. And so we were just in this big fight. They rushed us, and they couldn't rush me because I had this little grove of bamboo in front of me that they couldn't get through. But they killed the 4 guys in the position to my left. And to my right was our machine gunner, Pittman. And he was in his position with his 2 ammo bearers and assistant gunners. And so they were both killed. And he fired up his machine gun ammunition, and then he grabbed their rifles and used them. And of course, they jammed. So there was this huge fight going on. One guy got inside the perimeter and tried to kill a sergeant from Honolulu. And that sergeant jumped over a tree root that's a really thin root that grows on top. It looks like a little wall. And this enemy soldier fired a complete 30-round burst through that root. And so we thought the guy must be turned into a hamburger. And so we were trying to kill the enemy guy, and he just knelt down, took out his used magazine, put in a fresh one, and then stood up, and then finally somebody killed him. And we were in just a desperate fight. People were all around us, and we were throwing cans of food and full canteens of water. And I wanted to get my machete out from under my rucksack, but I couldn't take the time to bend down and get it because so many people were trying to kill us, and we were trying to fight them off with everything, sheath knives and just everything. And usually the Vietnamese don't do that because they're small people, and so they don't usually want to do hand-to-hand combat. But we just, Pittman went back to where our little headquarters was. And headquarters was wherever the lieutenant put his rucksack down. And with him was the medic and the radioman, 2 radiomen. So Pittman went back that far and borrowed a weapon from one of the radiomen and fought his way back into his position. And when he got back into his position, he had 2 of these claymore mines. It's like a plastic arc-shaped thing that throws out 2,000 pellets. And he had those in front of his position, and he hadn't used them. So he jumped back into his position, took off the safety wires, and detonated both of those mines on the enemy. It just so happens that one of the mines killed their first sergeant, their Tongshi. And when their first sergeant was killed, their commander, their Dawi, ordered them to retreat by blowing a police whistle. And when he blew that police whistle, they stopped fighting immediately and left. And so all of us were thinking, we better send home and get some police whistles. Because anyway, they left immediately. And out of the 23 of us, 12 of us were dead, and everybody else was wounded. And then reinforcements started coming in for us, and they went out to try to chase the enemy. And they found 44 enemy dead right in front of us. And they tried following blood trails and chasing the enemy. Of course, they weren't going to catch them. But also, the lieutenant decided, a West Point lieutenant, decided he was going to have Pittman prosecuted for cowardice in the face of the enemy for retreating about 30 feet to get another weapon. And he insisted that the guys that came in to reinforce us take Pittman and put him under arrest and take him in to be tried for cowardice. And so when we found out what they had done, we went on strike. we sat down and we said, we are not going to go anything. We won't patrol. We won't do anything. We won't take part in any infantry activities until you give us our Pittman back. And they threatened us. They were going to try us for treason, and they were going to try us for cowardice, and they were going to have us all arrested. And we refused to budge. We would not do anything until we got our Pittman back. And I mean, they kept getting increasingly high officers to come in and threaten us, because this standing up against command like that was just, oh, they just hated that. So they brought in, you know, first a captain, then a major, then a light colonel, and finally brought in a full bird colonel to threaten us. And he came in and threatened to put us all on trial, and that we were all cowards, and we were communists, and we were un-American. And we still told him we will not do anything until we got our Pittman back. So he went away, and then nothing happened for 2 or 3 hours. And then just before dark, a helicopter came in and dropped Pittman off. So we got our Pittman back. And so we went back to being an infantry unit. But it was just so unfair. We would not allow that. We were not going to, and we thought it was just because he was black, because nobody was blacker than Pittman. And we felt they were just doing that because he was black. So we refused.